upon a time, they were a radio show. A damn good one. The kind that set shit on fire. Metaphorically. Mostly. They were number one. They were chaos. And then poof, they were gone. But you never shut up about them. So guess what? They are back. This isn't that damn show, but it's damn close. Welcome to Not That Damn Show podcast.
Oh my God! Dude's been president for 3 minutes and he's like, are grocery prices down yet, Trump? Like, calm down. Let's give it a little bit of time. Anyway,
let's get this bitch started.
Yes, let's get this show
to the Super Bowl.
Oh, come on.
I don't care. I'm tracking the score on my phone just because I have a bet going, but I'm not watching it live. I have Hard Rock Bet that just gives me alerts.
I got the whole family out here watching the Super Bowl, so if anything exciting happens, I'll be able to
tell them to keep it fucking down.
They'll be pretty loud.
We're busy.
All right, so what did everybody do this week? I know. Wait, what do you got your bet? What are you betting on?
We decided that we would bet if she would tell me what I have to do, but I got to tell her what she's got to do if we pick teams. I said I think the Chiefs will cheat and win, but she went with the Eagles.
Oh, the Eagles are crushing it right now. At this time right now, it is 17-0.
Yeah, Eagles.
Now, I thought about this earlier. Do you think, because the Kendrick and Drake had this big rap battle, do you think if Drake had won the rap battle, he'd be performing at the halftime show? It was like a fight to see who was going to come out on top and be more famous.
I have people saying that there's like a prop bet that Drake's going to come out and join Kendrick Lamar for this halftime show.
I should post on Facebook. My favorite part of this halftime show was when they kissed and made up during the halftime show.
But all right, so whatever. Let's talk about the Super Bowl for a second. Why the hell did you go to New Orleans, Ian?
Because my buddy and I, we talked last year after our friend had passed away, and they used to go to Nashville every year. And instead of doing that, because that was their thing, I never got to go because I was always poor. I was like, well, I mean, let's go on a trip, but let's go to New Orleans because I haven't been in 10 years. And it just happened to fall on the same weekend as the Super Bowl, which we did not know until a month ago. And we decided, well, now we're definitely going to have a good time because it was fucking insane. My feet are literally killing me because we checked, our watches said we walked at least 35 miles in the last 3 days.
Nice. That's how you know you had a good time.
We knew Ian couldn't afford tickets, and I'm like, why the fuck is he there? I was like, that's like going in front of a brothel and just hanging out, but you can't fuck nobody.
It's just like looking, like, yeah,
but you can look through the window.
You take pictures with the hookers in the background, like what you were doing with some of the football players. Did you actually meet those guys, or were you just saw them and said, I met this person? No,
they were actually just walking down the street, and they'd stop and take pictures with people, but I was busy trying to control the photos, and the two that I got were the good shots because I got one of each of them actually looking at the camera, but it was blurry as shit because we were walking and doing it at the same time because they didn't want to stop, but they were happy to do it. Like today I ran into I was literally walking to my car to leave that fucking city, and I ran into Tech 9, and I took a couple photos, but they were all blurry because we were walking. He didn't want to stop, but he was happy to take the picture, but they were blurry, so I don't have any photos.
I was going to say, all of the pictures, Ian, looked like you were creeping, like you were trying to sneak it instead of like a picture with consent, like a selfie. It looked like you were just like, I'm here with this person.
They were actually nice about it. Like Russell Wilson was actually really nice, but he had just got done taking a bunch of photos with people, and I was like, hey, can I get a photo? He's like, yeah, just do it, because he wanted to get out of the restaurant that he was in.
Reminds me of when Pat Martin was interviewed Alice in Chains, and we're getting a fucking picture. So we jumped up there, but they're like off in the distance. I'm like, Alice, it's good to meet Alice in Chains.
Dude, that was a hilarious time. I remember, I think we did that a couple of times with Pat. Pat was taking pictures with celebrities, and we just kind of jumped in on his pictures. That was hilarious.
Oh, I think it was they would exit the stage to go sign the giant Aftershock poster, and we'd just jump right in. We had nothing to do with it, which I do still have that Aftershock giant poster. It's literally hanging on my bedroom wall.
How long does it take you to get to New Orleans and back from where you live?
From here, it's about a 5-hour drive, which is not bad.
That's not too bad.
No, especially because I take the scenic route. You can cruise along the beach for 2.5 hours.
Nice. What about you, Larry? Anything good happened this week?
You drove by my house and say hello?
I did, yes, because I did not want to talk to you. I'm just kidding.
I mean, I get it.
We left on Thursday morning, so I knew you were still at work.
He really literally went by my house.
And didn't even say hi? Like, you didn't even stop?
Well, we left at like 8 a.m. You were still on the air, which I did listen to. Not impressed. I'm just kidding.
All right, let's move on. Lara, what do you got? Anything happened to you this week? Anything good?
This week I painted a bathroom and my son learned all of the ABCs.
Oh,
he can sing his ABCs now. Very exciting.
How old is he?
He's 2 in like a month or 2.
Is that right on track? Like, I've been a parent for a long time. My kids are way older now. So, like, is 2 about the right age where they should be?
No, my kid's just extremely smart. Like, better than everyone else.
Still 7th grade.
He's already doing mathematics. So.
Wow, good for him.
Of course, I went to a Florida public high school. So.
What do you expect?
Exactly.
So for me, I went to Vegas for like 8 hours on Tuesday for who knows why. It doesn't even matter. It's a stupid reason. I went there completely uneventful, didn't gamble, didn't do anything except for I almost died on the way there and on the way back. Like, you know how planes have been kind of falling out of the skies lately?
Yep.
There's been like a lot of plane shit, but my plane shook the whole way to Vegas. Like, it was so bad they didn't do service. They didn't give us service there or back. And on the way back, it was hella windy in Las Vegas. It was super windy in Sacramento. Again, no service. They were just like, everybody keep your seatbelts on and just pray. Like,
they said
right,
pray.
Man.
They did not.
I don't think they actually said that.
No, I didn't say that.
Because then I would be like, okay, we're gonna die.
So it was bad turbulence.
It was really bad turbulence. It was the worst. I mean, there was a point in there, like, I've hit some pretty bad turbulence, but there was a point where it felt like the plane was going to fall out of the sky. It was pretty scary.
Or, Stroke, do you remember the time we both flew back to Panama City and the pilot forgot where the fuck we were going? He literally comes on the announcements like the pilot always does, and they're like, "Thank you for boarding plane such and such, nonstop destination to."
You hear papers ruffle around a little bit.
To Panama City. No, it was literally that long of a pause, and we're like looking around. Like, we better be on the right plane? Our ticket's scanned. Like, we're good, right?
He's probably just going based on the coordinates and not like the name of the city. But
he has to know. He probably had to ask the co-pilot, like, turn the microphone off. Like, what city are we going to again?
Yeah, where are we at? Excuse me, where are we going?
Yeah,
my cousin was on a flight one time, and he said the turbulence were so bad that anyone that wasn't strapped, like, had their seatbelt on, their heads hit the top of the plane because it like threw them out of their seat for a little bit.
Remember that time that Lara almost went to federal prison through TSA?
She forgot about her taser.
Well, there was that one time the one time she brought fireworks on the plane. Those little pop-it things.
Yeah.
Both times were accident.
You should have threw those when we were on the plane.
No.
That would have been awesome.
I would have gone viral.
I learned from traveling with Lara. She is a liability.
Yeah.
To bring on a flight because she is going to get you and your group kicked out.
Yeah, but you showed up that one time with just like a garbage bag. Like when we were.
I'm sorry, that's not illegal.
No, it's not.
It's just embarrassing.
I'll take embarrassing over jail.
She didn't go to jail though. You had a knife one time, didn't you?
I thought it was a taser.
I had a knife one time. I had a taser the other time, and then the poppets. I got away with the poppets. They were on the plane. No one knew.
That's 3 things that she should not be bringing on a plane that she did.
I got away with it.
Why would you do that? Did you do that on purpose?
Then she got a real surprise. Remember that? They sent her like a $300 fine.
That's right.
Oh my God, I forgot about that.
Stoke, you're right. I didn't get away with it all 3 times. The 3rd time with the taser, I did get a fine of like $150. So that sucked. Damn. I learned my lesson.
Did you ever pay that, or do you have a warrant for your arrest?
I had to. It was like some super like secret like department. It sounded really. I can't remember the name of it, but it sounded super official. It was like the Department of Justice or something,
or Homeland Security.
Yes, that's what it was.
Yeah,
that's very important. Yes, pay those.
I paid it.
But with all the things that Trump is cutting, and again, not to get political, I think he should probably get rid of the TSA. I think we've had enough of them grabbing everybody's balls and stuff. Let's move on.
It's the only time that I feel pretty.
It's It's the only time I get a little action, man. Let it happen. All right. Well, everybody's had a pretty decent week, but I don't think anybody had as good a week as Stroke did, because Stroke is now engaged for what, the third time?
Third time.
Third marriage?
You know that I hate talking about I was married twice before, but we've had this conversation. But yes.
You know what?
Yes.
I just want to make sure it's clear for all the
known
new
for 20
potential listeners we have.
I think I know what the problem was, because of your last two marriages, I was not at the ceremony because,
Here you go.
yeah, and I've known you through 2 divorces, so I feel like there's a little bit of a common denominator here. If I'm at your wedding, maybe this one will last forever.
Yeah. Well, so is there any plans yet? Like, are we going to be invited?
You're definitely invited, but we're probably going to be pretty small. I'm thinking people would say it's generic, especially that lives in this area, but I love the beach. So I kind of want to do something on the beach.
Beach wedding, yeah, that's what you do around here.
Nothing wrong with that. I love that.
That's legitimately what you do around here.
Fucking beach and just like, get the fuck out of my way, sunbathers.
Hey, we're trying to have a wedding. Can you guys go somewhere else? Jesus.
I could tell you how every beach wedding goes. You walk down to the sand. You wait about 10 minutes. She walks down. Maybe the ceremony is about 10 minutes long. Then you go drink.
That's perfect.
It's about that's it. Because nobody wants to be out in the sun in their suits and everything.
Nobody's pregnant this time, nothing like that.
Well, that's what I want. Okay, I had so many questions. How do you know her?
It's funny because we have known each other since she actually lived very close in California, so we just didn't talk a lot about it. But I met her when she lived here. We just figured out what show it was because we could not remember. Spinnaker, which Ian could vouch. Spinnaker was a club that was here. It didn't have
very popular
rock shows, but we were there, and she was it was a Saliva show. She was stoned out of her mind. I was wanting her, and then I got stoned with her friends, and then
I was wanting.
She was stoned, and I was wanting her.
Yeah, can we talk about that? I was wanting her. What are you, Shakespeare?
Did you let her know you wanted her, or was it just you were in your mind? You're like, I want that girl.
I want her.
There were situations where you couldn't. I mean, without morals.
Who cares? There's no morals in this show.
Not for me.
So I'm not gonna.
Okay.
He's not. Not to mention, he's not going to take advantage of somebody who can't consent. He's not that other show.
Yeah. Which we're gonna get to, because we're gonna have somebody on our show here shortly who is going to talk a little bit about that other show, but we'll get to all that.
Basically on the show today, for those of you who have made it this long, we have Lara's email to look forward to. I've been excited for this because I did not get to be a part of that because I was already shit canned.
Well, we were all, Stroke and I both were shit canned at that point, and Lara, I feel
left out because I got fired first, like 2 months before, so I feel left out.
We get it. You were fired first. Let it go.
Yeah, let me just let it go.
I'm not gonna let that go. Ian was fired first forever. Stroke, I do want to say real quick, I was today years old whenever I realized this marriage was real, because I saw your post and I genuinely thought you were trolling people for days and days and days. I thought it was a joke, and then they're like, "Oh no, he's really getting married." I'm like,
2 things happened this weekend. 2 things happened. I texted him first because I thought the same thing. I'm like, "Yo, what the fuck?" And he's like, "No, it's real." And then my mother, who should not be following him, because every time Stroke fucking does something, my mom's like, "What's going on with Stroke?" I'm like, "He's just fucking with everybody. Will you calm down?" And she's like, "Is this real?" I guess.
She's jealous.
It's so weird because my mom also follows Stroke. And she's like, "What's going on with Stroke?" I'm like, "I don't know. He's probably just fucking around." That's hilarious.
Don't tell me it's real.
Neither one of our parents should be following him.
I got people going, "Who'd you make this account? Is she AI?" And I'm like, "No."
By the way,
you got a real page.
So whenever you make those little teasers for social media, from now on, I'm just going to go clip that. Like both of us talking about our moms following Stroke, clip that.
That's a great one. I definitely got to keep that one. I got to know how you proposed. Like, how did that? I want to paint that picture for me, man. I want to know how that went down.
It was on Facebook.
No, how did he propose to her privately? No, you did not. You did not ask her on
real.
Facebook.
Yeah, I did.
You proposed on Facebook? What the hell up?
You are basic as fuck.
Wow.
That was not real.
Do this romantically, or we can do it or we can do it through the internet. But don't embarrass me. I mean, previous talk
Don't embarrass me
about our connections through the years, and there's been a lot. We talk like 8 hours a day. I'm like whooped. Okay, so we talk a lot. Like I just got off the phone with her a few minutes ago.
Oh, we're gonna have her on the show one of these days.
Oh yeah, because
her life is a lot quieter, so she kind of keeps it like normal. She's like, I can't handle these people keep following me. I have kids and all this stuff.
I thought about adding her but I'm going to wait till the dust settles because I know she's getting friend requests out the ass. But I do need to talk to her because as the best friend, I need to approve.
Yeah. I mean, I think we got to have her on the show. I think we all need to approve. We need to get the Dammits involved a little bit.
She's going to be part of our lives.
Yeah. Like she doesn't understand what she's stepping into.
Yeah, we need to warn her as well.
Warn her about what, Lara? She knows what she's getting into. She has to.
So we have like talked a lot. Like we are always talking. Like we know each other. But I got to just say this because a lot of people don't know this. Are you ready? This is going to be a big one. You ready?
Oh God.
She's a gilf.
She's a grandmother.
Oh really? I did not see that coming. She looks great. She looks great.
How old? Can I ask? How old is she?
She's just a couple years older than me. So, she was younger, and then her daughter's, younger, or her son. And so it's like, people are just now getting that old where grandmothers are really attractive. It's always been kind of.
She looks 40. She looks like not a day over 40.
Stop. Since I've known you for like 12 years. You've had a thing for you've been trying to bang rich grannies since I've met you. Okay, I don't want to hear that this is just a now happening thing. But anyway, I'm happy for you.
We're all very happy for you, man. We're excited. Oh, so
I just wanted to shock you by saying gilf because nobody expected that.
No, I did not.
You caught all of us off guard. So is there a date set yet? I know it's very soon. Is there a date yet?
This happened like 3 days ago. How could it be possibly?
No, but we have talked about a big weekend. So I graduate from my master's degree in October, but I can't walk the stage till May. So we've talked about May of next year and then the beach. Okay. But that doesn't mean that's guaranteed.
All right. Well, that gives us some time to save money.
I was going to say, either way, it's just start saving now so you can afford it. And assuming they would do it in like the Destin Fort Walton area. Yeah, assuming they would do it in the Destin Fort Walton area. I think that I was going to say, likely you could probably get a maybe 4-day weekend for about, realistically, maybe about $800.
That's not bad. And that'd be a great vacation. We'll come down and we'll do the podcast live together. We'll make it a whole thing.
Oh God. Can we do it live during the reception?
That'd be hilarious. We just broadcast Strokes' wedding.
Go eat what you want.
Actually, that's not a bad idea. I do like the idea of broadcasting Strokes' wedding.
Make people pay for it. Like you want to watch Strokes' wedding. It's going to cost you $25 a person.
You should have an alligator as your ring bearer.
I mean,
what are we going to start selling fucking turkey brine next?
Well, I mean, a lot of people do that whole instead of a registry, they ask for cash donations. You make a donation, you can actually watch it live, and that's not the worst idea I've ever heard.
I think that's a great idea. We'll sell merch. We'll sell Strokes marriage, Strokes wedding merch. Why not?
We'll
put it all together.
It's more so a funeral for the summer penis tour, though. Like it's part.
Yeah, does that mean? That's a good point. Does that mean that no more summer penis?
Summer penis bachelor party.
No, she thinks it's funny, and even though she's kind of like quiet and timid a little bit, she's definitely wants to come and meet everybody in Sacramento. And so hopefully sometime this year we'll be out there. I think she just knows it's a big part of my life, so I think she was in Los Angeles.
We need to we need to coordinate our schedules so we can both go.
Yeah. And when you guys do, what we'll do is we'll plan I think we mentioned this a little bit on the last, we'll plan an event around that, and we'll maybe give some Aftershock tickets away. If we can do it in the summertime, we'll make it a whole big thing. It'll be fun.
Just depends on when.
We'll do it old radio style. You know what I'm saying? Like we will own it. We'll bring 1,000 people to whatever event that we're having.
Do it live.
We'll do it live, as they say. All right. Well, Strokes engaged. Lara's baby, super smart. I almost died in an airplane. Ian went to the Super Bowl and didn't watch it. So let's move on to our special guest.
Happened this week.
Oh, wait, there's still one more thing.
You know, in Florida, we don't believe in COVID, but COVID's here and it's in my house right now. I don't.
Is that why you're dressed like that? Oh,
half of her life, she was in California, so she's paranoid, and she's like, "Dad, I ain't even feeling good. Can you just give me that COVID test?" I said, "I don't know. This thing's about a year old. This box. Well, let's just try it." So I did it twice, and she had it.
Oh man, that sucks.
Negative. So I either brought it in or I did not. I didn't even know COVID existed anymore. I thought it was all just made up.
I think I think COVID just goes around. Everybody gets it. It's like COVID, RSV. There's all these different respiratory diseases that are going around. Like my daughter's been sick half the winter. I'm like, what the fuck, man? Every time she gets better, she gets sick again. Something I wanted to talk about it was at the beginning of the show that we didn't get to, and we don't need to really dive into this, but there was a couple of really great comments on our first episode, which was a huge success, by the way, bigger than most radio, actually bigger than any radio show in Sacramento. Like we're killing everybody already. But people pointed out that Ian, like even though Lara doesn't really have a background or Stroke doesn't really have a background, but people called Ian's background out. Like, Ian, get something behind you. Nobody wants to see your crappy apartment.
I think it's because his is particularly kind of messy looking. I hide my mess by only filming the wall.
First of all, I love my apartment. I love my apartment. It's organized chaos. I got all my. This is just my living room. That I like to keep all my shit in.
You do look like the Unabomber.
My Christmas tree is still up right now, you guys. It's lit and everything.
Take your goddamn Christmas tree down.
No.
Are those Christmas lights we're looking at right now?
Yes, those are.
Oh my God.
Red bow on this lamp.
I mean, I didn't think about it at first because I know a lot of people that use just regular string lights as decoration for their house to highlight maybe their artwork or stuff like that. I thought that's what it was, but I didn't know she was that. I don't know. It's like Christmas, really? You realize it's, what is it, February?
Eggs are expensive, times are hard, and I need to keep the spirit alive. Okay?
Oh, Jesus.
Thank you.
All right.
Shit was expensive in December, Lara.
And I had them up then, too.
The spirit of the season, I guess. Should we move on? Should we bring our special guest on? She's here. She's waiting in the room. You guys ready? You guys ready to get into this? All right, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know.
Now I guess we should say that we have to fall within some legal lines here. We have to be careful. We can't say certain names, and we don't want to make any accusations about anything.
I'll try to remember that after this gets to about right here.
I know. Hey, so what are you drinking over there? I'm drinking this today. So
this is, my dad went to Ireland, and he says out there they drink Tullamore and pineapple juice, and he made it for me, and it is fucking delicious.
I might have to try that sometime. What are you drinking, bro?
Any bourbon will do.
Oh yeah, I don't really drink, so I have.
I'm playing it real modest. I've got Coca-Cola. It's a mini, so it's less. It's better for you.
All right. Well, I know that our special guest is drinking because she accidentally sent me a picture of her alcohol on Facebook. Janelle, welcome to the show.
That's what we do around here.
What are you drinking?
I had some Everclear.
See?
Ooh, you going hard?
One shot.
That's a lot.
Mountain Dew. I know it is a lot.
Cheers to everybody. Welcome to the show.
Oh, this is gonna be fun.
Thank you. Hello, everybody.
So, for those of you that don't know, Janelle is Wine Rack. I will call him Wine Rack. Anybody can call him whatever they want to. Wine Rack is a certain radio personality in Sacramento who was thrown into a wine rack or supposedly fell into a wine rack. I like to believe that maybe his wife threw him into it. He's kind of a piece of crap. And Janelle were you his first wife, Janelle?
As far as I know, I was his first wife. Yes.
Okay. And he's been married twice, though, right? Correct?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah. As far as I know, yes.
Well, as far as we know, there's a lot about this guy we don't know because allegedly. Allegedly, but he lives a life of bullshit. And maybe you can shed some light on this guy's deal, his story. Like it had to be pretty shitty living with him.
Until the 8th year, it was very unknowing to me who he was. So 8th year married. Well, I would say 7th year when I found out I had warts. Yeah, 7th year. He was there with me at the doctor's appointment.
Let's say we're gonna have to stop you right away.
Right now. Because I already have a question. So warts.
Yeah.
So you didn't have that before. So that would that would lead one to believe, and correct me if I'm wrong here, guys. If you guys
it's Occam's razor. It's the obvious answer.
He cheated.
Because I'm assuming you didn't.
No, I did not. No, never.
There you go.
Never. Everybody born in our era probably has it, but I've never ever had an outbreak. So,
I think we're probably close to the same age, and I don't have that. No,
anyway.
I'm not. I don't think any of us have it.
No,
yeah, and you guys, I don't have it anymore, and I do have a test to actually prove that, but just getting away from him, yeah.
Oh,
I don't
totally.
have it anymore.
Good. That's totally fine. And even if there's no judgment.
No judgment.
I've read this in science. It's called there's HPV. There's two different kinds, from what I understand. Yeah, and there's one that has the warts, and usually your body, because when we grew up, there wasn't vaccines over that. So at some point, you probably had the regular one. I think you would know if you had warts, though.
Yeah.
Like you would notice that on your stuff,
Oh yeah, no, I didn't. No.
So in the 7th year, you found out.
Lucky you didn't have the breakout. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
So
no.
Thanks for coming.
Well, yeah. I mean, thanks for letting us know. I guess
You're welcome. I told you I had a shot before I came on, so you guys are getting it all.
So I'm gonna keep notes. Cheating.
Warts.
Yeah,
Warts.
cheating.
Warts. Cheating and warts.
This will be great. This will be great for the Reddit page that loves to bash on them.
Yeah,
which I do know they listen to.
So I've kind of delved into that Reddit page. You got a lot of fans on that Reddit page, by the way, Janelle. Have you ever read any of that stuff that's on there?
I'm a little new to it, so I try to stay away from all that stuff.
I get that. It's a lot of drama.
It's a lot.
Ever since you came into our lives, they've started mentioning you more and more.
Yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah.
Because I've just been
get on that.
I've cruised it a little bit since Stroke and I did the show with their old co-host, and the amount of times they mentioned you just because, like, say, Stroke and Ian are going to be on this podcast, and the comments are like, "Have you seen what the fuck she's saying?" And I'm like, "Yeah, can we talk about that, please?" But we can't because Stroke and I weren't there, so it's either hearsay or slander if we're wrong. That's why you're here, to back up the claims.
Yeah, the first thing I saw was on Facebook. You put a comment referring to this person's routine when they got home from work every day
with a t-shirt or something.
His undershirt.
He fucked the shirt.
Yeah,
he fucked the shirt.
Well,
He left it on the floor.
He fucked his hand, and then it went into the shirt or something. I don't know, but it was always on the floor. And I mean, he left it there, so I would have to pick it up. And obviously, you know what it is when you see it.
I would have just left it.
Well, my question is, were you in the house at the time that this was happening, or were you still at work? Like, he would get home early, you weren't still at work or something. So he'd rather do that than
me.
Yeah.
Damn.
Me.
Second, because if you're laying on your back, it can. I hate talking about this, but it can maybe get he's leaving the shirt on, so he has like a napkin for it to fall on. Basically, is what I'm
like a little catcher, like a little shoot it up and then a little bit.
That's the best way I can describe it. A bib.
I think the routine was he came home from the show, he crawled into his bed and whacked it and used his shirt and dropped it on the floor.
Do you think that
for me?
Oh, it cleans.
Do you think that he would go home and listen to himself on the radio and listen to maybe and then finish himself off because he loves himself so much?
Oh God, listen how good I sound. That wrinkling paper. Yeah, Don, laugh at me.
He seems like
it was a huge, huge deal in our marriage that we didn't have sex at all, and I'm sure it's still a huge, huge deal. Yeah, it's one of the things I would have got a divorce for if he didn't divorce me first for cheating.
Oh man!
Did he have a favorite shirt? Favorite shirt?
Yeah, his
good question.
Shirt.
My favorite, my little.
Shirt, maybe.
No, if it was a shirt with his show's logo on it,
yeah, definitely.
You should have just started doing it back to him. Just use your own shirts to do stuff, and then leave it on his pillow or something.
No kidding.
That's not
a
though. Say that's not a fire you want to fight with fire.
Right.
Did you ever bring that up? Did you guys ever have conversations about your relationship and what could have been going wrong and why he's doing this and not you?
Or just quit leaving your jizz shirts all over the floor.
I'm not that type of person, but I made him go to therapy over it, and he was supposed to be going twice a week.
Oh, was he like, was Weinrack potentially considered a sexaholic or maybe an addiction or something? Maybe
it's called porn.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just porn. Okay.
Now,
yeah.
All right. I mean, that's pretty common, I guess, with a lot of people.
All of this.
Yeah,
Oh no, go ahead. I was just going to ask all the things that have happened since then, because you divorced in what year exactly?
We left each other in 2012, and it was finalized in 2014.
Now, with all of the, drinking and DUIs and all that, when that news broke, were you surprised at all? Like, was this something that was happening way back then that you could just see happening in the future? Like, oh, I'm not surprised.
Not surprised at all. I'm not surprised at all. Absolutely not. I'm surprised it took so long. I'm surprised he didn't hurt anybody. He used to drive.
That's a miracle.
All the time with us, me, and everybody that he loved, all the time. There was no. I mean, I never even actually thought about it because he did it ritually.
It becomes like, I mean, I'll be honest. And I was younger. I did some stupid stuff. I mean, I think maybe we all have probably at some point in our lives driven when we shouldn't have. But when you do it so often and you do it a lot, it becomes just sort of routine and habit. And you're like, oh, I'm good at it. I know what I'm doing. I'm fine. I can handle it. And clearly
and that's when you get caught.
It's when you get caught. And when you have
somebody,
you have such a giant ego, you obviously think that even then at that point you're like, I'm fine, and that you're friends with the police officer.
I was gonna say, do you think he tried to pull that shit? Like, do you know who I am?
Oh, I bet he did.
He's been pulled over before, but he got away with it. And this time he didn't. I mean, it just so happens that he was on his way to pick up his wife.
Did he ever talk about the people he worked with and just be like, did he actually get along with those people at all, or did he like gossip? I just want to know the tea.
Yeah, how does he feel about them?
Yeah,
he complained a lot, but they were our family. We spent a lot of time, a lot of holidays with them. Like any brother or sister, yeah, he would obviously talk about them or get annoyed with them or whatnot, but they were family more than anything.
Did you trust him? Did you trust him when he went to out shopping near the clothes area? Like, did you think he was buying certain shirts? I was just wondering, like, if you went into somewhere where he shops and he's like, oh, I love this shirt, and you thought, oh,
are you gonna do that to that shirt?
To it.
I should have. I trusted
I'm over
him.
here trying not to think about the shirt thing again.
I know. I'm trying to get past it.
I wanted to move on.
Uncontrollably. I shouldn't have trusted him ever, but I guess I put too much trust into him.
So, besides the jizz shirts and the alcoholism, are there any other like really bad habits that people might not know that he has?
Allegedly.
That's the word of the day.
Smoke cigars. He likes to,
I care less about that.
He has had back surgery, so he likes his pain meds.
Well, he's carrying that show around on his back. He needs it.
It's funny you say that, because there's been other people in his life, and I'm not going to even name anybody's names, of people that he knows or people that may have been close to him at one point who may have struggled with other things too, and he sort of would place judgment on them. Yeah,
me and some other people on the show. I was in a horrible car accident and I needed pain meds for a very long time. And he would make me quit it, and I needed it. And he's very controlling when you guys know him. He's very controlling. And
well,
I'm not a person that likes to be controlled.
The thing is we don't really know him.
I've met him one time ever.
And there was a period for a few years where I actually worked in the same building with that show, but I didn't really have much of a relationship with them other than one of the characters on the show. We still friends to this day. But I didn't really know him. He treated me poorly. He treated most people poorly, other than just, hey, how you doing? That's about it. So I don't really know him. But what I do know of him is he was always just a dick. You know, he's just an ego dick. And then the boss at the time would always be like, "Oh, he's just playing a character. He just likes to stay in that character." You know,
there's a line that you cross where you stop playing the character and you start being. That's just who you are.
But that's just who he is, isn't it?
That's exactly who he is.
Wow.
He's very narcissistic, ego-driven. Especially back then. I don't know about today because he's been stomped. His everything. I don't even know how he's dealing today.
There's nothing to have an ego about anymore.
Well, the reason that I say that is because like we all had to be limited versions of ourselves on the show because we couldn't fully be who we were because we couldn't we couldn't do the crazy shit like Stroke, for example. If you haven't noticed in the last episode and a half, if you listen to the show, this is who he is. He was a watered down version because that's what they wanted from us. So that's what you get on the radio. So there's a hint of truth to every personality. And I always figured that he's not playing a character. He's doing a watered down, sarcastic version of who he really is. And I felt like he was an egotistical, controlling jerk. That's what I got.
You're very right. Yeah, you're absolutely correct on that.
Was the divorce peaceful, or was there like a lot of back and forth with it?
Well, it was very amicable. I didn't talk to him at all. I didn't need to. I had my attorney, and some of the things that are funny that I'll bring up is I got a boob job and some other stuff done, and he wanted that money back, which is funny because it's our money.
Wow, that's so stupid.
Well,
isn't that funny? He tried.
What did the judge say? He's like, "I want that titty money back." What did the judge say?
If I can't touch him, I'm not paying for him.
Or is it one of those things where you get half?
Saw him.
Like you get half the half of everything in the divorce. He gets one boob back.
He paid for me and never even looked at him.
He never even touched him.
Why pay for him if you're just going to go cheat? What the fuck kind of investment is that?
So, like you say, like one of the problems was that like he didn't like have sex. Do you think there was a possibility like maybe he was gay?
Oh my God, that's a great question.
Didn't even think about that.
No, I don't. I thought about that, like in my younger like marriage. I'm like, is this guy gay? Is it gay?
Honestly, I think what it is, I think it has to do more with ego and success because that breeds, I can fuck anything I want to and nobody's gonna say a damn thing because, I've seen it happen. I wouldn't worry. I wasn't thinking about the gay thing, but I think it's just because he was thinking he was bigger than, because there was a time where he's one of the only people that could do this, but there was a nationally syndicated, biggest radio personality in the world. He beat that person, so you're going to think you're king shit.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
Look, I don't blame him for that. Let's be honest. Like, I mean, the ego thing comes with the business a lot of times. We all have egos. We were doing really, really well, and there were moments where we all had a little bit of an ego. Like we'd get the ratings and we'd be posting shit like we just crushed everybody, and it's deserving sometimes. And when you're a guy who, and I hate to give him any sort of praise, but the truth is, when the radio station was in the shitter, they brought that show on, and that show carried that radio station for years, and it brought that radio station up to number one. The show was number one in the market. Everybody listened to them for 20 some odd years, and people loved it. So I can understand a little bit where the ego came from, but as an adult and as an actual human, you know how to control it a little bit. And maybe he just didn't with it because he was, drinking or getting into whatever he was getting into. I don't know.
Some people can handle success.
I think
some
it
can't.
just
Yeah.
I think
he was just lazy.
Knock joke.
knock jokes.
Yeah. I chop it up to him being lazy and not being able to please me.
All right. Interesting.
What's a good quality he's got?
That's a great question too.
Yeah. What made you fall in love with him?
Yeah.
He's a good provider. At the time he was a good friend. And I fell in love with the person I thought he was, and it turned out I didn't know who I was married to.
Oh man,
and
that happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, it does, and it's sad, and it's kind of gross.
So, who did you think he was that he ended up not being?
A good person.
A good person. Is that what you mean? Yeah, he wasn't anything that I thought he was. I mean, I thought he was my protector. I thought he was someone that I was going to be with forever. I thought he was someone that would have my back in any situation. And it turned out he was a backstabber, a cheater, a liar, a fake, a phony, and just a awful
I do
person.
actually kind of feel bad
like
having you relive all this.
Oh, it's okay. I'm totally over it.
It sounds like he wanted you just to clean up that for him, and he thought he was controlling, including a jizz shirt.
I would have let them sit there on his side of the bed.
From what I can gather, I think that also carries into the professional side of him, because he has to control all the rest of those people. And I'm not surprised by what I'm hearing, because I was like, I gathered that from just the way that he runs his business. So I'm not surprised that it carried over into his personal life.
All right, so let me ask you this: who is Ashley?
She is the gal that he cheated with.
Is this is this like a fact, or is this alleged?
Oh, yeah, it's a fact.
Okay,
it's a fact.
Okay.
Proof. I mean, yeah, there's proof.
Okay.
I don't know who Ashley is.
I just know.
Do you want me to tell you about her life story, or you want me to tell you where she works and where she lives?
No, I don't
need all that.
How did you have him? Just like, okay.
No, Stroke, put the gun away.
Just give us a little fill in, like who she is, sort of like, what, is she the one that gave him genital warts and then you passed it on to you, like those types of things?
No, I don't really know. The way I heard it is it was someone that he met through building his broadcasting studio. And they started cheating. In the meantime, I was trying to get better from my accident and healing. Then I was on bed rest for over a year. I was in the hospital for 5 months. So I was getting better, and he was obviously doing him.
That's like one of those people that you hear about, like, their significant others going through like cancer or something, and they go out and cheat. What a fucking scumbag.
Yeah, he is a scumbag.
Go ahead, Stroke.
Stroke, you're gonna say something?
I was gonna say, I just want to let's clarify something. Yeah, let's clarify something that people do cheat, and people do get better and don't do it again, and then there's people who are just habitual at it. So I'm not saying he is or is not still that way. I don't know. But what I'm saying is, this isn't just you speaking out of hatred. This is what you went through and how it was, right? This isn't you just being.
Yeah, it's absolutely what I went through. And not only did my sister worked at Costco, and one morning he went there with her and went through my sister's line with her just so I would find out about it. And when I did, my sister called me that morning, and I went up to my house. I lived 2 minutes away. I went up to my house. Her car was there, and I went to knock on the door. And this is all because of our dogs, our German Shepherds, because we were trying to, figure that out. And he didn't want to have to share them with me anymore. So he wanted to put a thing against me, like a protective order. And of course, I went up there and I was pissed off, and I pounded on the door, and her car was in the driveway, and she was there. And then I pulled him off, of course, and told him what a piece of shit he was and a cheater. And he came out the door and put his foot in my Cadillac and I told him to get his foot out of the door or I'm going to shut it, and he wouldn't. So I shut it. And I think they had called the cops at that point and tried to get cops on me, but I had already left. But he put one of the protective orders on me, and I never even went to court, and they dropped it.
Man,
he's a pussy.
People have
pussy.
Got mad at me because they say, "Oh yeah, you're just being obsessed." Whatever. I am really, and I think everyone agree. I'm just trying to back up the claims to say this guy is really not who you think he is.
And that's what pisses me off the most about it. I don't mind people getting mad at me, but it's the truth. From what I experienced.
I'm with you on that, Stroke. I think that the part of the reason why I wanted to do this and why I was excited to have Janelle on, and not to say I'm excited about your pain, but just there's a lot of stuff that us as a show went through that a lot of people don't know about and what we had to deal with. And people have this idea of who this person is, or even just people in general. And if someone can shed some light on who somebody actually really is so that people can have a better understanding of what's going on or who that person is. I felt like that's something I wanted to do, and not in any way to destroy somebody, because we're not going to be able to destroy anybody. But just shed some light on the subject and sort of to back up some of the claims that we've had and said and things that we dealt with.
Well, not only that, but some of the things that we've, or at least I have, I don't know if you guys are following it. The things that I've read on the subreddit are fucking insane.
Yeah.
Like it's absolutely, and I haven't scrolled that far back. I don't know how long this hatred has been going on, because when we started 7 or 8 years ago, this show was king shit. But it's just like, it seems more like now people are starting to realize that, wait, this guy sucks. And the people that work for him also suck.
Yeah.
We just found out about something that happened 2 years ago, allegedly. And I'm like, oh, wow. I would really love to go back into their archives and see if they said that for real, because that is damning evidence.
Yeah.
I get messages about every day from somebody wanting to fill me in about some information. And I'm at this point, I'm going, this is just so much to handle. I'm like, I'm done. Like, I can only handle so much of it.
Well, yeah, we'd also like to live our lives.
I would imagine you get a lot. Do you still get a lot of messages, Janelle? Because we still do. I still get people who be like, they were talking about this.
I stopped listening to that show before I was even divorced. I can't really stand their voices.
Do you?
But I guess I get the messages all the time.
Do you still keep up with the second letter in the title?
The one that has his own podcast?
Yeah.
Yes, that one.
Yeah, he's my bro. He's still family.
He's good people.
He's good people. Yeah. I will say that he's been on this show. He's been on my other podcast a few times. I've been on his show a few times, and he's a good dude. I don't care what anybody has to say. He's a good dude.
Oh yeah. I say people because he's very large, so he counts as plural.
He was, I'll say this, was the only friend besides me and the parents that Wine Rack has. Friend. That was the only true friend in life, and he totally fucked him.
Wow.
And that's fucked up because
he basically told Stroke and I, as much as you hate somebody, times that by 1,000. Stroke, go ahead.
For the sake of the attorneys that will be listening, I wish this particular person would fix themselves and become a better person. And I don't know if it's possible, because I think he may be the worst person that I've ever met with, as far as being vindictive behind the scenes. So some people say bitterness. There's a bitterness because when people do me wrong, I punch back. I'm just the way I was taught.
I will always root for somebody to be better, but there's a lot of work that has to be done, and a lot of ass kissing and apologizing.
I don't want anybody's lives to fall apart, but here's the thing. I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I want this guy to be successful. This guy wished nothing but shit on us. And I'm not going to pretend like I want him to be successful again or be happy. What I want him to do is not hurt anybody. And I don't want him to drink and drive. And I want him to shut the hell up, and I want him to seize the opportunity that he has. And I said this on my podcast before when he got hit with his DUI. Like, dude, you have an opportunity right now with the radio stations that are giving you so much. You have this opportunity to create something, not just for this community, but for any community that listens to you. And he didn't create something great. He didn't bring back what he had before. He just continued to put commercial bullshit out there and just be a part of the demise of something that I personally love, and that's radio.
And there were so many events that they did where he was nowhere to be found. I'm like, dude, you're you're the one in charge. But I do also agree with what you said. It's like, I don't want anything bad to happen to him, but he didn't want us to succeed. He didn't want the guy following him that we followed to succeed, because he would go out of his way to sabotage. Because he wanted to be the only person that was succeeding.
Let me clarify what I was saying there, just to make sure everybody clearly understands it. I want him off the fucking radio forever. Okay?
That's what I was going to say. I don't wish him success on the radio. I think the best thing for him as a man to become a better man would be to have to stop doing radio. I mean that. To get actually become down to earth, maybe lose half his fortune, get knocked down a little bit, and become more of like a human being again. I think that would be what would be best for him, and actually bring him the most joy.
It's slowly going that way.
Yeah.
Honestly.
I think I legit think, and Janelle, I don't know how y'all's life was at the time, but I feel like he's built this persona about being so wealthy, and this happens to a lot of wealthy people. They create the illusion and have to spend money to keep up the illusion that they eventually go broke. So I don't know if that was like what that's like with y'all, but he built this persona of being a rich guy. He has to spend money to keep that illusion going.
That's how I feel he is now. I don't feel like, so this was his for the DUI. I think it's going to ruin his life, honestly.
And it's still going on. Like, he's still, as far as I know from what I've read, he still has court going on. Like, nothing's been finalized, I guess, in that. Am I wrong?
Shit.
Oh, you're good.
Before you, I legit think that was the start of the downward spiral, because we always were trying to, either ignore him or just silently pray for his downfall. But once the DUI thing happened, it became very apparent. That's when I started noticing a lot of the hatred that was being thrown his way on social media. I didn't really notice it before, or I wasn't paying attention, or it wasn't there. But I think that's when it really started to take a dive, because they started to realize that A, that's a shitty thing to do, and B, maybe he's not the person that he claims to be.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, he can't go to Hawaii. He can't go to Las Vegas. He can't just fly by night, go to, Napa and leave his house and go bars, go to restaurants. He can't be around alcohol. This is going to kill his reputation. It's going to kill his, relationship. I mean, it's going to kill him, who he is as a person. It's 3 years. I did it when I was caught with cocaine, and it is not a fun thing to deal with you being under the microscope of Placer County.
Yeah, you're a public figure.
Yeah, it's horrible. It's not fun. You're going to have someone coming in your house, going in your car. If you get pulled over, you're going to be taken out. You're going to have the whole thing. And it's embarrassing. It's intrusive. It is horrible. And I never ever was, I mean, the only reason I never was had anything before the cocaine charges ever in my life, and thank God I didn't. But I was a shell of myself after my divorce, and I ran to drugs. And
to be fair, cocaine's a hell of a drug. I mean, if there was going to be any drug, it would be that one.
Two things.
If I was doing drugs.
There's two things I wonder. One is, I wonder what the atmosphere was like in the studio the first day he got back to work after he was arrested.
Yeah, right.
I bet that you could cut the tension in there with a beach ball, I bet. But second,
I mean, it was probably a little bit exciting. Like, if one of us had gotten arrested the next day, we were going to have fun with it, probably.
No, I'd have been embarrassed. I'm like, I don't want to fucking talk about this.
Not for that.
If we're a different show, like for us, we would be giving each other shit. We'd be having fun with it or whatever.
It's not something that I would want. Like, let's say it happened to me, it's definitely not something that I want to keep. Like, have your fun the first day, but the rest, I'm going to fucking hit somebody.
Yeah.
And I wonder Does anyone, because you say he can't be around alcohol, I've always wondered, does anybody else realize the irony of one of his biggest sponsors being an alcohol company?
Hey, look, we are, as that damn show, as a person who can probably speak for everybody on not that damn show, we are more than able to take on that sponsorship.
Oh, they want to move over here.
Looking to sponsor.
I promise not to drink your product and drive.
I mean, why not?
Yeah.
Just kidding.
I don't know if that's what he was drinking, but I just thought it was hilarious. I was like, so he.
Oh my god!
But they
Can you imagine if they found like the bottle of that brand in the? Oh my god, that would be part of the.
I think a lot of us thought that. I think we did.
Yeah.
If there's any cocaine sponsors, call me. Pablo's got some good shit.
I can't imagine doing 16 days in jail.
Is that what it is in California?
What?
Is that what it is in California?
Well, no, that's what it was on his. That's what I saw on Reddit.
Oh,
interesting.
So they might have showed up to work the next day. Like, is he coming today?
Well, because there was a moment where they were still doing the show, and they're like, he's off on vacation or whatever.
Well, you got to understand, they do a lot of best of, so they might be lying to us. They do a lot of best of.
A lot of best of.
It's fucking crazy.
It's terrible.
We would have tried to I'd have made my first phone call. I've been on the radio.
You voicemail number.
That'd been awesome. That's good radio right there. Janelle, I got to tell you, look, this has been eye-opening and awesome for you to come on. And I know that, like Ian had mentioned, just having you kind of relive some of that stuff is probably pretty hard, but we appreciate that. So thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
You are more. If you think of anything else, you're more than welcome to come back on.
All right, you guys. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Man, what a nightmare for her.
You started off with the fucking boom, right? I mean, the fucking grand slam, that wart thing. I'm like, what the?
Yeah,
I know,
warts. Dude, that blew my mind. But at a certain point, I started to realize that's when I wanted to apologize. I'm like, this looks like it's kind of being hard for her to talk about because I God knows she said like 2012 or something. Like that's 13 years ago. Why are we bringing this up again? But
because
clarify for people who are listening, because there are people listening. We did not. There was no prep questions. I had no idea. If you look at my face, you probably could read going, oh my God, I bet everybody in the room was doing the same thing. I wasn't watching your faces, but when she said wart, I was like, oh.
That came out of nowhere.
Fuck nowhere.
That came out of fucking nowhere. Wow.
Oh, man.
I feel bad for, and in all honesty, and I hate to say this, is I feel bad for him a little bit too. He's obviously.
You and I don't.
I do a little bit just because he's struggling, and I know people who struggle with addiction that are very close to me, so I know how hard that is. So in that sense, I feel bad for him. Outside of that, he gets everything he deserves.
Here's why. I live in the Florida Panhandle. I know a lot of people that struggle with addiction. The only reason that I don't is because he made the decision to drink and drive. And that is something I cannot forgive. He could have killed somebody. I don't know if this was his first time or his millionth time, but he got caught.
And I could tell you by what we all saw those numbers that were higher than his ratings, as someone says all the time. That was funny, but that was a pretty. I'm thinking about how drunk you had to be at that level. Yeah. That's really where that doesn't even. Drinking and driving is not funny, but that really is not funny. Like, that is really dangerous.
That is a very high blood alcohol content. Yeah. And the second reason I don't feel bad for him is because he has every opportunity in the world to be a good person, and he constantly when we were on the station, we made it our goal to be friends with the people on our station. The guy that came before us, he was a friend. They went out of their way to sabotage us.
Yeah. As long as you were on our station, because if you weren't on our station, fuck you.
Well, we still talk to the guy on the pop station, the midday guy on the pop station. That guy was dope until he got fired.
Awesome. Yeah, he was awesome.
I love that guy.
I still do. He was great. Yeah, we did have friends in that building. We had some really good friends, and we had some really good times.
Yeah, so I don't know if I'll just say it because I can prove it if anybody wants to turn me up and have this particular thing. But I sent you all the screenshot. Somebody said that he said this was the words. I'll do the best I can. A programming dude, and I believe he knows who I tagged last week, was over at the now former general manager's house, and he specifically, you seen it, he named the name. And I'm like, well, now I'm wondering if there was I can't say there was a romance or anything like that. I can just say something happened. Something.
Let me just sort of paint this picture for anybody so they kind of understand. What's being alleged here is somebody who showed up at a management person's house, who used to work as management for 98 Rock and actually all those radio stations, and they saw allegedly the guy that fired
you three
there. Assuming, putting this together, these two, the woman no longer works there. The guy who fired us still works there, but he was at her house. So this starts to bring together all kinds of different questions, because when that woman had left that company, somebody had said that there was some weird reason, some weird things going on, and now this sort of comes into the picture where I'm like, what is that? What it was? Maybe does this make sense?
Here's why I think it might, maybe, possibly, could be true. Mikey, do you remember at your Mikey podcast Christmas giveaway, whatever the fuck you called it?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
I was sitting there by myself with, and one of our ex-sales ladies had come up to me and told me a bit of information, and I yelled across a bar that had a very loud rock band playing, and you still heard me because I was that excited. I went, Mikey, come here.
Yep, I remember.
You are not going to believe what the fuck I just heard.
Yeah.
It had to do with the fact that our ex-sales lady had told me that our ex-GM, who is alleged to be hanging out with your old programming director, she was getting divorced.
Yep.
Huh.
So that's why I believed it.
You don't know if that's true or not. I just, somebody said
that's why I'm saying that's what I heard. That I am protected. That is what I heard. That is hearsay.
Yep.
We don't know if any of this is true.
Yeah, it could be bullshit.
Well, what's being alleged is that person who was the head manager, it left the company because she had a potential relationship with a guy who fired us. That's the allegement.
That's the allegement.
That's what my thought went, because the guy specifically named the person, said it was I don't want to get the guy fired either.
Yeah, no, of course.
He does work around the area. How about we were this way? We'll be happy to talk about it in court. But he specifically named a lot of details that you wouldn't know without knowing. So if it's true, then wow, that tells me that there may have been this is why we're getting rid of one of our top shows.
And you know what kind of hurts the most? Because we did discuss her in our last episode. I really did like her.
Yeah,
me too.
I have a hard time believing this because she's a smart lady.
It's not that I have a hard time believing it. It's that I don't actually enjoy making fun of her until I remember, oh, right, you pissed me off when you fired me, so fuck you. But before that, we were fucking cool. She loved us. We'd go out to karaoke, and me and her would sing Hall & Oates together. Me and her loved Hall & Oates. Or we'd go hang out and get drunk. We saw Toto together.
We sure did.
Us. We all saw Toto together.
I just started disliking her that last day because of the just not saying goodbye. I just thought that would have been nice. She avoided. That makes me question if there potentially allegedly could be any extra dick that would persuade a thought.
She didn't say goodbye to me. She didn't let me say goodbye to y'all.
I thought her and Mr. Rogers took you guys in a room and talked to you together.
She wasn't there.
They were separately.
That's messed up because she was there that day. She could have. She
looked in and saw us and then walked out. Yeah, I mean, she looked in and then told HR and never said a word. Never got one message.
It was Mr. Rogers and HR who were in there to do that. And I'm nothing against the HR lady either, by the way. She's such a nice lady.
She did her job.
And that's really it.
And I would like to
further confirms for me that they hired him specifically to do the dirty work for them of getting rid of their favorite people.
And
I did say last week that there was somebody is I said the words, maybe somebody's blowing somebody or doing something. I don't know anything to be factual, but things are just unfolding that may potentially, possibly, allegedly be something. I don't know.
I mean, the guy does seem like a scumbag. I mean, you guys said that, he would get drunk and get racist and all that, which led to Lara's email. And we are such good broadcasters that brings us to Lara's email.
Yes, thank you for that, Lara. Do you have that email?
I do.
Yeah, it's my resignation email. I guess sent it after maternity leave.
This email is something that I think Lara and I've talked about a couple of times, like in person. I'm honestly, I don't know what this thing says, but I know that we talked about it last week and people have been hitting me up like, I can't wait to hear what's on there. She's got it right there.
You tattling, which I love.
Well, it's actually like I had a lot of conviction behind it. I didn't just get on there and say, I'm mad, I don't like this person. No, like every single thing, 100%, this is why I left. I didn't even leave because they fired the show. I mean, it was my job. I would have stayed and done something else. I left for this specific reason for this man.
And before you read it, literally anything that you say, whether it be true or not, is just what you told them. This is why you left, and it could, whether it's proven or not, this is what you wrote them. We're not saying that this is true or not.
This is your experience.
What I wrote them.
Yeah, this is your
my experience, and it could have been wrong, I suppose.
All right, what is it?
Continue.
I would never lie, but
we called you Lara the liar.
You were Lara the liar. Let's be real.
Oh my god.
Do we have any music?
Woman, I would never lie.
I do believe that you would not lie about this in an email. So please continue.
This is my resignation. Hello, name of our general manager. Hope you're doing well. I'm just writing you because I have had the chance to think it over during maternity leave. I think it would be best for me to leave Odyssey. The main reason being that I cannot work with Mr. Rogers. I tried to ignore it from the first meeting we had with him. It was clear he is unprofessional and insulting towards others. He was the new boss, so I didn't feel comfortable bringing it up with anyone right off the bat, but it was a very crappy position to be put in. He said that my pregnancy was going to be a problem for him because of my maternity leave and asked me repeatedly if I would be able to work remotely from home while on leave. When I first told him,
sorry.
There's a lot.
That's illegal. That's a good stopping point. Yeah,
that's illegal. That is illegal. I just want to put that out there. He should never have did that. That is illegal right there.
That was more than one time too.
God damn, what a piece of shit. Go on.
When I told him I expected to take 12 weeks off, he asked if I could take less time off. I said no because I'll need time to heal and take care of my newborn. My husband is on deployment. I will be going through postpartum alone, so I need all the time I can get. He acted confused by that answer and gave me a look of disgust.
Wow.
What a piece of shit.
You probably don't know what any of that means because he's so fucking stupid. Sorry.
Probably doesn't know what postpartum means. I
no,
put
he
money
don't.
on that.
Was that Pop-Tarts?
You eat postpartum because you can share that with us. You can come back and share. We can all eat it together.
Postpartum, yeah, I want one.
Sounds delicious.
He has spoken so poorly about the middays girl to me for God knows what reason. She takes on anything that comes her way and is kind to everyone in the office. Yet he has called her incompetent to me in his office on multiple occasions. No boss should speak about their employees like that. Even if he had an issue with her, he should still show some respect as a leader. He has also made multiple very racist comments, one being that we are not criminals because, quote, we are not black. When I made a disapproving face at him after that, he rolled his eyes and said, oh, I get it. You're from California. As if because we're here, that's why we're not racist. Instead of not being racist.
It was his way of saying we were woke before woke was even a thing. It's like, oh, I get it.
Wait.
So you're not going to do that guy. Yeah, whatever.
Didn't he come from Atlanta, which is more African American? There's more African American people there. Like, how are you racist from it?
He's racist. He was racist, insinuating that we're not. I don't. He's a piece of crap.
I heard.
Yeah, there was other ones that he said. I didn't put those in the email.
Both of those stories.
Yeah.
Some other racist comments for sure.
I'm actually kind of glad I missed this. This is worth being fired 3 months early.
Don't worry. There's only 2 paragraphs left.
Okay. Please, I'm enjoying this because I missed all of this. This is all
he
new
creeps
to
me out. He creeps me out. The idea of working for him or even being in the same room with him brings me anxiety they have not had with any other boss in my entire life. He is not professional. The only idea he ever brought up to us since being here has been that he wanted to have a bonfire event for 98 Rock listeners right after we were coming off of a bad fire season in California.
In California. What a fucking idiot.
I remember saying to that guy, like, dude, we're not, no fires. You don't mention fires at all here in California. That's a bad idea.
We told him that the idea sounded fun, but wouldn't be a good idea given the tragedy of our state facing fires destroying many homes recently. He responded to this by telling us that we don't know what we're talking about.
Oh my God. Do you think he was in LA recently?
Jesus Christ.
How does he still have a job?
For these reasons and a few others, I must leave my career that I've loved immensely. I owe a lot to Entercom and 98 Rock, my husband and son being the most important two things. Thank you, General Manager's name, for treating me with respect. Respectfully, Lara.
Now, I have a question.
That was a great letter, by the way. I just want to say that was really good. Very professional.
I have a question. Did she send you literally anything besides a generic, thank you for blah, 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 enjoy your next steps?
I don't know if I can say this part, but yeah, they responded. If she responded
and you can prove it, then you can read it out loud. Go ahead.
You'll have to read it.
Oh, we're sorry that this is the way you felt or whatever. And
sliding.
They said, we just wanted to really show our appreciation for you and offer you this hash.
That is how men gaslight women who are angry. I'm sorry that I made you feel that way, or I'm sorry that you feel that way.
He's saying they here's some.
Is this bad to say or not?
No, it's fine.
Am I getting
This is how they treated you.
No, they said we're going to just give you some. What's it called when you get fired?
Severance.
We're going to give you some severance, and then they made me sign this thing that said I had never been sexually harassed or anything. So sign it.
Yeah,
because
it's gaslighting.
Because if you didn't sign it, you wouldn't get your severance. It's the same thing they did to me. It's the same thing they did to Stroke.
And me.
Yeah.
They
and I had no
arm.
intention of suing or anything. I was honestly letting them know because I love the people at 98 Rock. I love everyone that worked in that building, basically. 80% of them I loved, and I didn't want them to have to work with Aaron. I genuinely believe that no one should have to work with that guy, and that's why I sent it, not because I wanted them to get in trouble or anything like that.
Damn.
Well, I tagged him, and I didn't hear a response. I was hoping on Facebook when I tagged his account that he would at least write something back so I could fight with him. I had going on this week.
I was bored. I just tagged the guy.
Went to work, come home. I was like, I'll fight in the middle of the fucking day. No big deal.
Well, just if it's consolation to anybody, and I sort of mentioned this to you guys, we're living in their heads rent free. I got the ESPN guy calling me on my phone the other day. I didn't answer it. Lara and I talked about this on Freeloader Friday. I got the morning show guy from 98 Rock messaging me on Facebook asking if we have a problem, as if no.
Why? Do you want one? I'll give you one.
Sort of how it went down.
I don't even know who this old guy is. Yeah, I don't know him. I even have a problem.
No, and I said that I kind of cleared that up a little bit, and he said, "Okay, good," and I thanked him and whatever, and that was the end of it. But the fact is that they're listening, and we're in their head, and I don't know if they see us as a threat or if we're just a nuisance in their mind. But I don't want to stop being a nuisance, and then we don't have to sit here and dwell on these guys anymore. And we can, after today, we can move on completely.
We're not trying to be a threat. We just like doing radio. That's it.
I was going to bring that up. I was like, because we knew we were going to have Janelle on. We knew we were going to read Lara's letter. After that. Brighter pastures. I want to be more positive.
Let's go. Let's do it.
Although there was something that we wanted to talk about, which we might not get to, which we definitely should save. Something we call the X-Files.
Oh, that's right. Let's save
that. I very much liked that idea.
I really love that idea, guys, and maybe we can get to that on our next episode, the X-Files. That was something we were going to get into today. I don't even want to say what it is, but hey, there's a lot of different things that we're going to do on this show.
I'll give them a hint. The X-Files is spelled EX. Figure that out. So that's a good enough tease. Oh, figure that out.
Fun. Make sure you guys leave us voicemails to 916-312-DAMN.
Because I kind of noticed it rolled across the screen if people can see this. But,
right there. So I got our voicemail number set up. If you call right now, just say, hey, this is not that damn voicemail. Leave a message. We'll play it on the thing. Just like we used to back in the day when people would leave us messages. You can say whatever you want, so only this time it's uncensored.
And I only noticed it about 2 hours before we started recording. Do we have any that we can play, or we're just going to wait till next week?
Okay. We haven't really promoted it much till besides today. So nobody, and I don't know that there's any to play today, but we will have some.
Not to mention, follow our Instagram. We just started it. Yep. I definitely want to see that grow. And
TikTok, Instagram, follow us there. Follow us on whatever platform we're on. Patreon is coming this week. I'm going to get that built up. I'm going to talk with everybody else off mic, throughout the week to kind of figure out what we want to do with that. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for you guys to support the show. We'll do sponsorships and stuff we'll have some sponsorship packages eventually coming too.
I want swag.
We're going to have swag as well. That's all coming, and it'll all come over time. And I like to sort of like how we used to do on that damn show was like every couple of months we announce something new. This way it'll be every couple of weeks we'll announce.
It's only episode 2. We'll get there.
Yep.
But I'm not joking. I need a hearse and a casket because we are having a funeral. Eventually. Could you
imagine? And when you said that, you messaged that on our Facebook. If there's ever a point in time, and I do want to do that, but if by chance 98 Rock was to flip formats, we are 1,000% going to take credit for that. And we are absolutely going to hold a funeral for that radio station.
We can already take credit for them dying because how many listeners have not listened since we left?
Maybe that's our first event in the summertime is we have a funeral. Not that damn funeral.
I'd like to say hello to everybody over here at Odyssey because I got the same message this week about, hey man, everybody in the building is talking about this is one of your secret moles going. Everyone's talking about it, so they're loving it. Employees are loving it because they know it's all true. Like there's a lot of people.
They're either laughing or they're nervous. Either way, suck my 98 cock.
Yes,
it's funny.
I love it.
The boss of the person, the boss we were talking about that the email was about, all of his employees are listening and agreeing because they've experienced it too.
They must know.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I feel sorry for you guys. Well, not that one. That one might be.
There's somebody listening that's like, oh no, they saw me at the ex-GM's house. Whoever it could be.
I'm hoping. I'm thinking it's who he said it was, but I'm going off the message. I sent it. I mean, I'm like, what the fuck is this?
Yeah, all we're going off of is speculation. We can say that because we got a message that said it. We do not know if that's true or not.
Yeah.
Well, it was a little more detailed, so that's the only reason it was brought up. It was not. Sure. If it was just some random jackass, that'd be different. This person had some details. Let's just say it that way.
Oh, one last thing.
I believe it's true too.
I'm going to put a link. We got our link tree. It has all our links to everything to make it really easy for everybody. I'll put it in the description of this, and every episode moving forward of Not That Damn Show will be right there. All the links that you need will be right there. Click on that. You can follow us on everything. Anything else you guys want to say before we wrap the show up?
Just a question for now. Can we commit to episodes being released every Wednesday? Just so they have an appointment.
Yep, every Wednesday for me. That's easy for me. I can make
until we start doing this more often, obviously.
I'm going in Nashville in 2 weeks.
Like Mikey said.
Maybe I'll just walk around and introduce my my lady and talk to random people. I don't know. We'll figure out.
You introduce your lady to people, they're gonna look at you and be like, "What the fuck are you doing with him?" But yeah,
exactly. That's what I say every day.
Like Mikey said, the more y'all support, the more often we will do this.
Absolutely. So keep that in mind, guys.
We've seen the analytics. You guys have been great on the first episode. I really want to see this continue on the second and third and fourth and so on.
Yep. Let's keep it going. Until next time, everybody, stay safe, stay weird. I say this on the Mikey podcast. And remember, question everything.
It's been real. It's been fun. It's been real fun.
Oh, I got one. Don't beat it. Don't whack it. Just stroke it.
There you go.
Larry, you got one?
I haven't heard that in years.
Oh, yeah. My son just learned his first joke. It's, what do you call a bear with no teeth? A gummy bear.
Hey, this was really fun. We hope you liked it too.
You know, we've had a lot of laughs tonight.
Seems like we've just begun when suddenly we're through.
But I'll tell you what's not funny.
Goodbye, goodbye, good friends, goodbye.
Killing strippers.
'Cause now it's time to go.
Strippers are people too. Naked people who may be willing to pleasure you for a price you negotiate later behind the curtain at a VIP room.
We'll see you very soon, I know.
Besides, there's no need to kill them.
Very soon, I know.
Because most of them are already dead inside.
Goodbye.
Good night, everyone.
Goodbye, good friends, goodbye.